What's up, everyone? This is Bacon here, and today I have some sad news for my second account. This will be officially my last video for this account. I have doing some thinking, doing some soul searching, and I just have not enjoyed playing this second account for about a month or two now. I've gotten to the point where I've progressed so far in this account that it just feels like I'm doing the same exact stuff on both my main and this account, and there's really not a whole lot happening. And it basically feels like if there's a new event coming out, I have to do the same things twice. And with life being busy and just not wanting to replicate everything because it gets boring and takes some of the fun out of the game for me, I'm going to put this account on pause and I'm going to stop playing it. Now, with that being said, I know some people do enjoy the polls and stocking up on the scrolls and doing all that stuff. And so I'm going to continue doing that with my main account. I'm going to stop using my scrolls I get every day. I'm just going to stockpile them. Going to stockpile my other stuff. And I'm going to just kind of unload probably once a month or once every 3 weeks and just do all my summons at once so people can kind of see the RNG in that component. Because I know some people do like kind of the fun roulette of just summoning a bunch of stuff. So I'm doing my main account. I'm going to shift this and do that on that one. But for, one final kaboom, shabam, whatever, I'm going to do it on this account. So we're going to go ahead and summon 363 scrolls, 27,000 of diamonds. I I didn't even summon anymore for the last dimensional event. And so I'm just going to summon for Trisha because she's the only character that's actually decent from the current summon pool for these. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would just save them on your normal accounts. And then we're going to pull for some more Mizoth. So sorry to those of you guys who really enjoy it. It's just not, I've been enjoying it as much personally, and it's hard to stay motivated with this when I am not having fun with it. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Let's see if we can get some, what better way to get the freaking dude I hate the most as the first one. But let's see if we can get some good RNG on this last big pull on this account. All right. Just kind of getting some average ones. Nothing too crazy at this point. Oh, double one. Cecilia, Rosaline. I don't think there's an A at the end, actually. I think it's just Rosaline. Nothing. Turtle Man. Yep, some good memories of Turtle Man. Turtle Man just wants to wish me goodbye, apparently. And so while I'm doing this, a few things I want to note. Ooh, I've been wanting to get some more Gwyneths, and I haven't. The point of this account originally was to just kind of build out some oddball characters that don't really get used much or are kind of lower on the tier list. And that's what I did. I had a mix of good heroes, average heroes, bad heroes. And I think kind of my conclusion is, for example, Cecilia was one that I kind of had built out pretty early. I got some good, you got to be like, come on. I feel like I reached my limit with these guys. There's no way I need more of them. But Cecilia was one of the heroes that is pretty low on most tier lists. She's not the best hero. But I got her built out pretty early. And she, Crayons, that's a solid one. She ended up being surprisingly helpful and good early game. I think most characters, when you build them out early to even mid game, can be pretty viable. I think where the tier list, another Crayon, that's solid. Where the tier list really matter more is when you hit that late game where you're hitting those hard waves or you're getting orthos that are just impossible to kill. Like, you want to have good tier teams and heroes that can really crank through those difficult waves. And when you have kind of these trash units, it just makes it even harder. Now, not to say there aren't some trash units that can be useful still. There we go, Cecilia again. Dang, look at all those. Okay. I gotta ascend real quick. Come on. There we go. Look at all of them. Oh, yeah, I definitely have way too many of him. Because he is maxed out now. Dang, I'm maxed out a bunch of people here. Turtle Man was one that I think he's a good tank, but I just don't think he really does much else besides that. You know, if you build him out, I'm sure he'll be decent in some areas, but I just don't think he's going to have a lot of viability. And companions, having a good front line and tankiness is good, but, and this is a big but, you need damage. Like, you're just not going to do anything. If you don't have damage to kill people, then you just lose battles. Like, it doesn't matter. Look at that, Ascended Kryn. That's exciting. Okay. We got them out of the way. Let's keep up the summons. Oh, wow. I didn't realize I almost went through all of them already. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and use some diamonds. But yeah, I mean, when you're fighting in arena, when you're fighting in campaign, if you just live long enough, but the time runs out, like, you don't win, you lose. So, like, you need damage. And that's why a lot of the pure tanks aren't the best normally. There are some that are good because maybe they have a lot of CC or they have some debuffing action going on. But, I mean, when you have a choice between Turtle Man and Mishka, I mean, you got to pick Mishka because Mishka's doing some big damage too. Okay, honestly, nothing too exciting amongst all those. But I did get a lot of these cards. Let's see if we get some Wilders. He is the example of a tank that is just kind of hot garbage. Tassie. I do like Tassie. I don't think she's the best, but I think Tassie's a fun hero. All right. Let's go ahead and do Stargazing. Nothing. Come on. There we go. There's one. Let's do two individuals. All right, we got one. So let's go ahead and try to get Trisha built out. I think I have her either ascended, low ascended star, or... This is really bad luck. Thank you. Or I have her almost ascended. Let's see. One more. There's no way I don't get one more. Then I'm going to get one more here. Nope. One more here. That was a garbage one. Only 3. All right, let's see what we got. Ooh, Mizoth is getting to Mythic, which is exciting. Got his signature item. Have I not even started to build Trisha out? I haven't. Let's do it. There you go. I could have sworn. Maybe I'm just thinking my main account. Trisha is a very good hero, by the way. If you can get her, definitely would recommend. Unfortunately, that will require using Destiny Summons and Diamonds. So that is a big trade-off, especially if you're wanting to save for Dimensionals in the future. Man, for my last, like, hoorah, that was just not a very exciting pull. Alrighty. Let's go ahead. Just take a look at my final heroes. So this is kind of my final progress as far as leveling up my heroes and stuff. Of about 5 months of doing this account. January, February, March. We have about almost 5 months of playing this account. This is the progress I have made. I got Awakened Solace, which is obviously the big end game one you want to get. So you want to get Awakened Solace. I happened to play when Shaltir was here, so got her totally maxed out. Very useful. My light bearers are probably my best faction. Mauler's actually pretty solid. I mean, besides Wilder's just a given. Yeah, I would say light bearers are my next one. Graveborn is pretty okay as well, but I just think overall as a comp, you got a little tanky, you got your damage, and you got your backline killer. I think this is pretty good progress. I think this is pretty standard. I don't think anyone's going to be doing much better than this. Obviously, you should have better hero selections than this because this was kind of a troll account. But this just shows you can get Awakened Solace in about 4 months, 3 months if you're really grinding or spending. And then you can get pretty far just overall. Like I have 5, 10, 15, almost 20 ascended heroes. Not too bad. And, I got a Hypogene to Mythic. That's kind of disappointing just because that means pretty much in 1 year I will have maybe an Ascended. Yeah, I would have an Ascended Mizoth by then. Unless I just prioritize buying Stargazing cards, and that's a totally different story. But at the rate I was doing, I would not get him very far. But overall, pretty happy with this account. I haven't pushed much lately, so I'm pretty sure I could go farther than this, but I just too much time. I got too much stuff going on right now. I don't have time to do that. I want to focus more on like my actual content than this account. But that is the end of my 2025 free-to-play account. Thank you guys for watching this one. Hopefully you enjoyed all the summons for this one. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I will start kind of stockpiling some summons for my main account. Do that about once a month so you can see those. And then, who knows? One thing I've been kind of considering is starting a classic account from the beginning and kind of showing long form content of that and just kind of showing my way of going through the waters of classic, because I know there's a lot of content in that one. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it might be interesting to see a perspective of someone starting brand new on classic, because I know some of you guys have done companions and just companions, and so maybe you want to entertain the idea of having 2 accounts so you can kind of go back and forth on. If that sounds like something that'd be interesting to you, please let me know in the comments, because I want to make videos that you guys enjoy. And if you would enjoy a new account on a classic server, let me know, and I'd be happy to do that. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being my followers on YouTube. And as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.